And this is what I use to do the retrobrighting. A couple of these plastic containers. You can see the fluid down in the bottom there. I've got a jar full of water in one and a plastic bottle full of water in the other, just to hold the things down. And I just tape it up with some packing tape around the top so that the lid's sealed up and it can't evaporate and leave. So you can see a jar in there with some telephone handsets, and in there we've got a telephone case with, like I say, just a soft drink bottle full of water, or partly full of water, to hold it down because the bubbles will make it rise up. And we'll just put them in a sunny spot, and depending on the weather and how hot it is, how fresh the solution is, it'll, take sometimes just a day, sometimes part of a day if it's only a light amount of stuff, sometimes a couple of days to really get the badly burnt stuff better. You just got to be careful you don't lighten any coloured stuff too much, because it will lighten the parts not affected by the sun and the yellowing, along with the bits that are. But it does seem to, like I say, do the bits that are affected seem to go quicker than the others. So you can take a phone or something with a badly burnt one on one side, and it will lighten the unburnt areas, but not as much as it lightens the other bit, which will sort of catch up with the rest of it. And it is surprisingly effective, but stuff that's really badly burnt or yellowed is not really worth doing. And this is what I'm using, this hydrogen peroxide 12% food grade. I think there's a 20 litre tub of it. I just actually ordered this off eBay because I wasn't sure where to get it locally, and it was quite well priced. Was it from someone's cleaning supplies? Bosca Chemicals and Cleaning Supplies in Queensland. Office has to come by road, being somewhat hazardous. Hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, 12%. Strong oxidizer, handle it cautiously, observe the safety warnings. Harmful if swallowed, severe skin burns and eye damage, do not breathe it. Do not eat, drink or smoke when using it, because you'll probably get it somewhere. So to drop these things in, I usually just poke them in by hand, let them sink, and drop the bottle in on top, being careful not to splash myself or anything. When you get it out, it's time to use some of these big rubber gloves, and I basically lift out the bottle or whatever, dip it in like a bucket of water there to get all the hydrogen peroxide diluted off the jar and the bottle that I use to hold things down. And then I grab the actual phone parts or whatever I'm doing in there while wearing the gloves, get them in my hand, take them down and hose them off, give them a good soaking with a hose, wash off everything, and seems to get rid of it okay. Then you just got to let them dry out, obviously, till the water evaporates. But yeah, you treat this stuff as toxic, and if there's any chance of splashing or anything, wear some eye protection as well. Haven't really noticed any fumes off it, but they probably are there because I'm doing it outside. Obviously when you open these things up after they're hot, there's quite a bit of water vapor in there, or hydrogen peroxide vapor, or whatever it is. So treat this stuff with care, don't touch it with your skin. I always have a bucket of water handy, so if I do accidentally, when I'm putting things in, get my finger in there, I quickly rinse it off and give it a good rub and stuff to get it off. I haven't got any burns from it, but yeah, like any chemical, treat it as highly toxic, especially if you're going to expose yourself to it on a regular basis. But just for the occasional thing, it's not too noxious, this stuff. But yeah, again, just follow the safety precautions and keep it off your skin, keep it out of your eyes. If there's any chance of splashing, like I say, wear a face mask type thing, a shield like they use for brush cutting or something, one of those plastic things with ear muffs on it, or just some safety goggles over your eyes. I've done that on occasions just to be safe. I was a bit more cautious with it when I first started, but now I'm probably taking a few slightly more risks. But I've got the habit of just being careful when you lift the lids off too, because the condensation, if you tilt them, will run to one side. So I tend to take the packing tape off, which also has condensation, wearing a glove, screw that up and put it in the rubbish bin, then lift the lid up, tilting it to one corner over the container so all the water or peroxide runs off back into the container. And then of course being cautious with the lids, best to wear gloves while handling them, especially when you're emptying the things. And yeah, just use common sense, make sure it can't drip on bare feet or anything. I always have shoes and long pants and all that sort of thing around this stuff, because when you're opening them up it does drip here and there, and when you're carrying the item pull it out to be hosed off, and when you spray it with a hose there's also a risk of splashing back on you, so you've got to be a bit careful there. So just general precaution, just treat it as something toxic, like it's a herbicide or something horrible, and just use caution. That way you don't get any major exposure, because some of these chemicals you may not feel anything in the short term, but if you touch them a lot you'll get some sort of sensitivity to it and can cause skin issues and stuff, or burn your lungs or passages or something, breathing passages. So you just got to be careful. But I don't think this stuff's too bad. But we'll give this, it's getting into winter now, so the sun's pretty low and nowhere near as effective, but I've got one more phone there with just some light yellowing. We'll see if that fixes up. That's the Telecom Pursuit phone, so I'll try it for a day today, and I think it's meant to be half decent weather tomorrow before it goes this bad again. Endless clouds. So we'll see how this Pursuit phone goes. Well, this is the phone after I think it had 2 or 3 days of some sun, some cloud. I think it has lightened it a little bit, but I can still see the label where it was there is lighter, and if we lift that up we've still got a darker patch along here, so I don't think it's done a great job. But unfortunately the sun has not been real strong, and the solution's had a bit of use, so it's probably getting a bit old, and I'm not sure I really want to pour out some more into those containers and have it lying around until next summer. So I think I'll just leave this phone in pieces for now. I'll get rid of the old chemicals, clean out all the containers and stuff, and next summer I'll get some fresh stuff in there, and I should have a couple of other phones dug out by then that need doing, and maybe some other items. But I think it has lightened up a little bit, but it's just very slow at the moment. Don't think that handset's quite back to the colour it should be. It's not too bad. I could almost put that back together like that and be happy with it. But I would like to see if I can just get that darker stuff a bit better. That's just a shadow off the camera. But yeah, it's mainly that area there, and still a bit on that. And this whole front really wants lightening. You can see it's a bit darker there as well. So I think we'll leave that one. I'll put all that in a bag somewhere, keep all the parts together, and I'll just wait till we're back in the summer again. So it's going to be another 6 months or something before this thing gets done, but I'm in no hurry for it, and I think there's still some stuff around, and who knows, I might buy some. There's only a couple of other Touchphone 200s and stuff I haven't got, so if I get a couple more of those in the meantime, I'll get them apart, and we'll do it when the weather's a bit better. But if I left this out every sunny day it would probably eventually get there. But for the moment I think that's the best I can do, so I'll wait for good sunshine again and long hours of it, and we'll sort it out then. So thanks for watching.